Hey guys, what's going on? Jebb here, and in today's video, we're going to be doing some technical analysis on Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency market. Because guys, if you were watching the cryptocurrency market in the last 24 hours like I was, then you will have probably noticed that Bitcoin and its fellow cryptocurrencies, the altcoins, have jumped quite substantially in the last 24 hours, as we can see here on CoinMarketCap. In the last 24 hours, Bitcoin is up 10%, Cardano is up 19%, Bitcoin Cash is up 15%, Ethereum's up over 10%. Every single cryptocurrency basically here on CoinMarketCap is up, and most of them are up double-digit percentage points. And we actually even do have some gainers that are up above 50% in one day. 10x is up 60%, Power Ledger is up 60%. The entire cryptocurrency market has been doing very, very well. And based on some things I'm going to be showing you on the chart today, and based on some things that I think are going to happen on the Bitcoin chart in the next couple of days, I do believe that we may be seeing the formation of what is going to become a new Bitcoin rally leading into the month of July here in 2018, and maybe bringing us back to around that $7,000, $8,000 region, maybe even up to like $9,000 or $10,000. But we're going to be discussing all of that in today's video. So if you enjoyed today's video, definitely consider dropping a like, hitting that subscribe button, because it helps out the channel, and also because we do cryptocurrency videos every single day. So let's get right into it, guys. Bitcoin is, of course, trading right now around $6,500, $6,400, depending on the exchange you're looking at. And its daily volume is actually doing very, very well. As we can see here, Bitcoin's daily volume is quite a bit higher. It's not crazy, it's not a massive amount higher than it normally is, but we're getting close to $5 billion on the 24-hour volume, which is something that we don't normally see in Bitcoin anymore. That used to be a very low number for Bitcoin's volume. I remember when $5 billion was the volume for all of cryptocurrency, but in the scope of the market right now, that's better than it was anyway. But like I said, it's up 10%. Bitcoin dominance is still hovering around 42.5%. That really hasn't changed all that much with this pump. Basically, the entire market pumped all at once, and the altcoins are pumping a little bit harder. But the thing that seems to have held us up is Bitcoin's Bitcoin's kind of this hard support level at $100 billion in market cap for Bitcoin. As you can see, we're hovering around $110 billion in market cap. Because of this pump, we've added like $10 billion, $15 billion of market cap across the market in the last 24 hours. But if we come in here to the chart for Bitcoin and we zoom into the last 7 days, we're going to see that Bitcoin never actually fell below $100 billion, except for right here. It fell below $100 billion for all of about an hour and a half. But ever since then, we never really fell below $100 billion. We've gotten very strong support there, and I do believe that that's probably going to be the bottom for right now. It seems that $100 billion is a much stronger level of support than 6,000 was, which is definitely something that surprised me, but nonetheless, it does seem that we're going to be getting support around that level. Right now, we're on the 5-minute chart on Bitcoin over USD. And guys, I don't trade on the 5-minute chart. I didn't trade this pump because I already had my positions. But this is something that I really want to point out. This is something that is very, very interesting. And I love watching crypto markets, especially on the short term, because they're very, very exciting. Because a lot of times on the 5-minute chart on Bitcoin, you see it going sideways, sideways, sideways. And then you see something like this, where Bitcoin jumped about 30%, or excuse me, about 7%, literally in the span of about an hour, about 15 minutes. Bitcoin jumped about 7%. Within about an hour, Bitcoin had jumped from about $5,900 all the way up to close to $6,300. We watched this live in the Discord server. If you guys aren't already in the Discord server, I don't know what you're doing. Go ahead and join the Discord server. Link's in the description. We have a lot of fun over there. But we watched this happen live. We were discussing this, doing technical analysis, calling tops, calling bottoms on what was going on at this point. And we saw that Bitcoin jumped above this. And there's some very important things that we need to look at on the market. First thing that I want to talk about is with pumps like this, a lot of times, and I said this before the second pump happened. I said this, like, if I were to draw where I said this in the Discord, it was like right here. I said in the Discord that what you normally see happen is you see one pump, which is what we saw here. This was the first pump. And then you have a little bit of a cool-off period. You go sideways for a little bit, and then you see a second pump. And that's exactly what we saw. This is a good thing to take away from this, because you do normally see this. If you go back on like the 5-minute chart and you look at some of the historic pumps, you're normally going to see something like this, because you get the first pump that happens, you get the first little jump, and then it cools off a little bit. All the initial buyers, all the initial bulls cool off. They already have their position. And then people like us in the Discord server turn on our chart 2 minutes late, and then we realize, oh my gosh, Bitcoin's skyrocketing, and then they buy in. So you normally have two waves to that. That's something that I wanted to point out. That's not really technical analysis, but that is something, well, it is, but that's something that I want you guys to be aware of, because that is helpful for trading. A lot of the times you will see two little pumps here. Let's go out to the hour chart, and I want to show you something really, really important. In the last couple of days, I've talked about this downtrend that we've been under. We can see that there's a touch up here, there's a touch right here, there's a touch right here. And actually, if we go out to the day chart and you extend that, it goes all the way up and touches the all-time high as well. So this is actually a very powerful downtrend that we've been under. And based on what happened yesterday, we've actually broken through it. If we zoom in here on the chart, we can see that this right here was the downtrend, and we've definitely broken through it. It looks like we're going to close today's candlestick above this downtrend, and right now it also looks like we're getting resistance on the 21-day moving average, which is exactly what which is basically exactly right around where we are right now. The 21-day moving average is almost exactly at $6,400. It looks like we're getting resistance on that. As you can see, there's a wicks here where we jumped up above it, but it looks like we're pulling back to it. We're going to want to get above that. If we can break above that moving average, that's a momentum indicator. That is a very important moving average. That's a moving average that the market tends to get support and resistance on based on the market cycles of the market in general. As you can see, when we're below it, we're in a downtrend in a bear market. When we're above it, we are basically in a bull market. This is a very important downtrend, or this is a very important moving average, excuse me, and it's something that we definitely want to get above. That's one of those confirmations that I was talking about earlier in the video that we're going to want to see for Bitcoin to break so that we can actually see Bitcoin continue to new highs and actually get up to levels that we want to see it, like this downtrend right here. So those two levels that I was talking about is the downtrend. We've already broken that. That's very nice. And the next one is this moving average. We need to get above that. Those are two things definitely to watch out for. And if that does happen, if we can stay above $6,000, what I'm expecting Bitcoin is going to do, based on some other things that I'm going to be talking about in a second, I'm looking for Bitcoin to come up here and test this downtrend of resistance again in this triple bottom pattern that we've had here. As you guys probably know by now, we're in basically what you could consider a descending triangle or a falling wedge, however you want to call it. But right now I'm looking for Bitcoin to get back up here, get past the $7,000 mark, up to around $8,500, $8,000, depending on when it hits this, and try and test this downtrend of resistance again. I do think that we are about to see a new rally kick off, like I said, especially if we can get above the 21-day moving average. Another thing to keep in mind is that over the last month, Bitcoin has continually hit that 30 level on the RSI. We've talked about how this is kind of strange because normally when Bitcoin hits 30 on the RSI, we see a rally. We've had it happen twice, and right now it seems like the third time's the charm because we just hit it again in the last couple of weeks. We actually hit it twice, but you can call that one if you want. So it does look like that may be the beginning of a new rally. Also, something else I want to point out is if we come in here and we zoom in on the day chart, what we see here is an important indicator. What we have right here is what's called an engulfing. It's called a bullish engulfing candlestick. This is where you have one red candlestick or one black candlestick, however you use your charts, and then you have a green candlestick or a white candlestick, again, however you color your charts. And then the bullish candlestick, the green candlestick, is bigger than the actual red candlestick. This normally indicates a reversal. This normally indicates the bottom of a trend. This isn't something that you want to trade by only. You don't just want to trade by this, but that is something that you can use to try and gauge whether or not a bottom has happened. And this is something that would generally point to this being a bottom. And based on other things that we're seeing in the market, like the RSI having just overextended down to oversold territory on 30, and that we got above this downtrend, and that I'm probably expecting that we're going to get above this 21-day moving average in the next couple of days, is leading me to believe, like I said, that we're probably about to see a rally up to this downtrend. Now, like I said in the last couple of videos, I'm not going to shy away from it. I was expecting that Bitcoin would pull back below the $100 billion mark down to maybe $5,500 or $5,000. You guys know I'm honest with you. That's what I was expecting to happen. But right now, it doesn't look like that's going to happen. It looks like $100 billion is a much stronger level of support than I had given it credit for, because the bulls most certainly did not want to see Bitcoin go below 12 digits on its market capitalization, because it only did it for about 5 minutes. And each time that it did it, we had a big jump in price action. And guys, the other thing that you got to keep in mind is that technical analysis is only so powerful. There's only so much that you can do with technical analysis, and that's not to have an excuse or anything, because I'm just saying, you guys need to keep in mind that technical analysis is only so powerful, and sometimes these little breakouts like this, you just can't call them. It would have been very hard to call this first breakout. Now, this second breakout, I basically called in the Discord server, but this first breakout, it would have been very difficult to call this, because if you're on the 3-minute chart down here, we're just trading sideways, trading sideways. If you had volume up, what you would have seen is you would have seen a nice little volume candlestick here on the minute chart. If you guys were watching the minute chart and you saw that right there, that would have been an indication to buy in, and you could have caught this. But this would have been very hard to catch with any other indicator other than volume. So guys, that's basically what I wanted to talk about in today's video. I wanted to lay out what happened with this pump. I wanted to show you what this means in the scope of the cryptocurrency market, and actually talk about where we may see the cryptocurrency market going in the next couple of weeks, and the next couple of days, and the next couple of weeks, as we try and start a new rally going back up to this downtrend that we've been talking about. Because Bitcoin and cryptocurrency have been trending downward, downward, downward for quite a while, and I think the bulls are getting a little bit tired of it, because we've been in a bear market And we've been in like a mini bear market in the grander scale of the main bear market. This one that you can see for the last 2 months, ever since the beginning of May and up until now, we've been in a bear market. We've been gradually trending downwards under this downtrend, which has been very, very powerful. Every time it looked like we were going to get a bottom, we didn't. And that may be the case here. This may just be a temporary thing. But for right now, we did break this downtrend of resistance, and I'm looking for a new rally to form, and I do think that's going to happen. But I'll definitely keep you guys up to date on that here on the channel. But guys, if you enjoyed today's video, definitely consider dropping a like and subscribing. It helps out the channel immensely. You have no idea how much I love reading your comments as well. Go ahead and leave a comment. Tell me if you think I'm right about this rally forming. Tell me if you think I'm wrong. Tell me if you think I'm an idiot. Tell me whatever you want. I love reading your comments nonetheless. People troll me and they think that I care, but I really just like reading their comments because they're funny. They give me good ideas for insults. But anyway, guys, like I said, that's going to do it for this video. I want to thank each and every single one of you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.